Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the First 15 Accountability Party. We come in every Monday morning at 9 a.m. to 9:15 to give you some accountability and encouragement for your week. My name is Melinda B. Powers, founder of Intentional Professionals. So welcome. How it goes is we have 3 5-minute segments. The first one's for your wins, the second one's for your encouragement from me, and the third one is for your me time. And we'll talk about that later. So let's just dive right in. Let's talk about our wins. So, for me, my win, good morning, Errol. My win for last week is that contract that I was telling you guys about. I had to do a sample. Everything's a go, so it's going to be starting very soon. I'm very excited. This is the first major contract for the business, and I'm really excited. Hi, Anthony. How are you? And so, this is just a big win for the company, for me, and I'm just glad to be able to share it with you guys. If you have a win from last week, please put it in the chat. And I'd love to know what you're working on, and you could share and maybe even collaborate in the chat, depending on who's there, what you might have respectively going on. The idea is for this to be a community so that we can all benefit and support one another. Thank you so much for showing up. It was kind of a rough morning. I didn't want to get up, but I'm here. And you guys keep me accountable. Just know that when you show up, I am showing up to be here for you because I want you guys to trust that I'm going to be here every week. I don't care if and I felt really bad last week. I had stayed up really late. I was so tired, but I could not skip this. Like, I am committed to this. I just want you to know that you can trust me to be here every week. If you need that pick me up and that pep talk, I'm here for you. Hey, Ivo, how you doing? Oh, your win was learning about Auto GPT and spending the week building your technical skills. Well, look at that. I know you're very much into AI over there, and you keep me inspired and you keep telling me about new things. I think I learned about something similar. It's called Autopod. I watched a video. I think it was a TikTok video that was naming some really cool AI technology. So we'll chat offline as usual. But thanks for sharing that. Anthony, Errol, if you have wins from last week, please share. They don't have to be huge. Just as long as it's something that you accomplished that you're happy with, it doesn't matter. One of the reasons why I have this space is because we always focus on the really big wins, but we have little wins all the time. And sometimes big wins are comprised of small wins. And I want us to create a culture here for celebrating all the time, because that's what keeps you motivated. If you're not counting the small things, then you feel like you're not accomplishing anything. And that's definitely not good for your morale, for your ego, for your spirit, for your motivation. And I go through that too. When we're all humans, we're having a similar experience here. And especially if you're building a business, which I know some of you are, along with myself, it's a challenge. All right, Anthony, share. Finally got time to do work on your app. All right. Yes, and Anthony's one of my former clients, so I know all about his app. It's very cool. I'm really excited for him. Hopefully you'll have the alpha demo up by week's end. Okay, cool. Well, keep me posted. Definitely keep me in the loop so I can know what's going on with it. And hopefully you can tell us more about it here on different calls. And as you're rolling things out, you can put that stuff in the chat and let other people know where to go and where to find your app. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. So I think, Errol, you didn't share. I'm waiting for Errol to share his win. Hopefully you're tuned in still and you can share. But please, if you're on the call, if you're watching live, you can always put in the chat your win. You can respond to any of the prompts in the broadcast. I'll be happy to read them on air. I believe I can read all of them. We're live on YouTube right now, Facebook, and LinkedIn, just in case you didn't know. So you have plenty of opportunity to be able to catch and to interact. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the next piece. I don't see Errol. Feel free to add. I'll still go back and read it. But now we're going to get to the part that I like, and that's the pep talk. It usually comes from the blog. So, I try to work smart, not hard, so that I can compound the things that I'm working on. So when I can blog about a topic and then talk about it here, it's helpful because I can get it out in another way. And I don't have to come up with extra topics. So just being honest with you there, a transparent moment, right? But I'm going to go ahead and share with you a little bit about what I talked about. Oh, it looks like Errol shared. What did he say? Okay, there we go. Comments. Still knocking out the honeydew. I'm sure it's long. Arrow's recently retired, so I'm sure his wife has got him working on a lot of different projects. So thank you for sharing. All right, but this week the blog is about mentorship. And I said that mentorship is the GPS for small business. And I find that to be true. I'm actually experiencing a bit of that right now. This contract that I just secured, that is from a mentor. They provided that opportunity for me, and I am so grateful for them. We are in a similar space, so they understand what it's going to take to get me from this first step down the line to where they are. And you need that sometimes. I mean, I think everybody should have a mentor. You can have multiple ones too, but in the blog, I talk about them being in your field or your industry is pretty important because they have a very unique understanding of what you need, what you're going through, and the pitfalls and the downsides and the upsides. So it's really nice. Hi, Tramel, how are you? Long time. So I just want you to think about the importance of mentorship and how that can benefit your business or your career. You don't have to be in business to benefit from a mentor, as you know, someone who's been along the path you're trying to go on. It's always good to try to understand where it is you're headed, and they have a better understanding than anyone if they've already been there. So like I was saying with the mentor that I have now, it's really been good for me because they're doing something very unique compared to the other business owners I know. They're taking a path that's not as popular. And it's funny because I didn't think I would be taking that path when I started this in January. I had a totally different outlook on where I was headed and how. But as time went on, I started to realize, hey, I don't think this is what I'm going to be doing. I think I want to go this way. But I had no real compass on how to do that. And this person was, dropping tidbits along the way that kind of brought me onto that path. And now they are giving me a lot to use to propel myself forward and to be able to do things on a scale I didn't even know was possible before now. So I'm very grateful to them. They are very committed to my growth. And that's a really important key thing that I want to bring up about mentors. So, because a lot of people throw that term around, just because someone is willing to sit down on coffee with you doesn't make them a mentor. One of the aspects I talk about in the blog post on this topic is that they have to be available and committed to you and your whatever your project is. If they're not, then I don't think you can call them a mentor, because anyone can just casually sit down with you when they feel like it. But having a commitment and an availability to someone takes effort. It takes intention, and they have to really want to do it, right? And then you also have to in turn be committed and available to them. You can't expect for them to do all the heavy lifting. So think about that when you're scouting a mentor or you're considering starting that kind of relationship. It really needs to be there. There's a lot of different tenets. There's got to be trust. There's got to be, all kinds of things, confidentiality. What else did I talk about? Being in the same field, communication, personal interaction, like all of those things need to be present. So, it's almost like a friendship, but it's got other aspects to it. And they should be just as concerned about what you're working on and your struggles as you would be. So just think about those things very carefully. Sometimes you can use that as a way to target someone you would like to be your mentor. And sometimes someone comes into your life and you're like, wow, I think this is a mentor more than this is a more of a relationship than I bargained for, but in a good way. And that's always a good thing. So just consider how mentorship can help to help you on your path. It can change your trajectory. It can help increase your opportunities, give you a positive outlook when you may not have it. There's a lot of things going on there that mentors can help you with. So don't discount that, but don't just label anybody a mentor. Be very selective. I'm very picky, so that's not hard for me. But if you have a little bit more trouble with that, just be a little more discerning and discriminatory about who you put that label on, because not everyone wants to be truly what a mentor is. All right. So my favorite part, this call goes really fast, guys. So we're already in that last 5 minutes, and that's the me time. So if you're new here, me time, me stands for most impactful item. So this is the thing that if you did it this week, you would feel like you conquered the world. I don't care if it's just cleaning up the kitchen or if it's landing $1 million deal. Like, what is your me time for the week? So everyone, please respond in the chat. What would you feel like you hung the moon if you got done this week? Okay, so I'll start. So I have another contract. It's a little bit smaller, but it's very important to me because it's someone that I know and I really respect, and they need some help with their nonprofit, and I have agreed to work with them to help them, and I really want to get a lot accomplished with that this week before I get deep into this larger project. So my goal is to put in at least 20 hours on that project this week, even though I know I have some other things. I have a whole day of something I'm going to have to sacrifice to not work, something very important. Errol knows what I'm talking about. But I really want to put at least 20 hours in on that project this week, if more if I can. So that's my me time. Anyone else care to share what would be something really important for you to accomplish this week that would just make you feel like you did it, you handled it, came out like a champ? And hopefully whatever your me time is this week, it can be your win next week when you show back up and you join us. All right, Anthony says you fix app errors and update. Okay, fix app errors and update the appearance of the app. Last two things before you can bring this to your alpha testers. Okay, all right. Well, we'll be looking for that next week. Hopefully, you can join us again and you can tell us all about how you got those things done and how the alpha testers have dived into testing. All right. Ivo says her me for this week is implementing and adding what you've learned this week to what you're already building. Your online courses will now have interactive chat bots and quizzes. So getting started with the updates and upgrades is a win. That sounds like a good win right there. I'm looking forward to that. Errol says work on his volunteerism with LJ and some political campaigns he's helping out on. Okay. I see you. All right. Is Tramel still here? I don't know. If you are, please feel free to share with us. But I'm loving this interaction. This is all about community. This is why I want to do this broadcast for you all so we can come together and then we can kind of see what's going on. People are working on things all over. I mean, Ivo's in Michigan. I know Errol and Anthony are both here in Florida. But people are everywhere doing all kinds of things, and we all have really unique connections. And I love the idea of maybe some of you collaborating at some point. If anybody's working on anything that's similar or aligned, that would be really cool, and using this as a way to connect. All right, so we're down to the last couple minutes. Everyone shared their me. I hope that you get all the things done that you would like to get done this week and maybe more. I also hope that while you're doing that, you are giving yourself time and balance to not just constantly be working, so you're not burning yourself out. That's super important. I know I need to listen to that more. I did spend the weekend relaxing for a change. Once I knew this project was secured, I could actually kind of breathe. And I gave myself the opportunity just to be around the house and like, oh, look at that. And just kind of work on little things that make me happy when I see them done, but nothing that was too intense, just kind of beautifying my space and feeling comfortable in my space. I gave myself a little facial. I hadn't done that in a while. So take time to love on yourself, give yourself some self-care, get some peace, have some time, quiet time with yourself if you have the opportunity to do that. I know sometimes it's harder with that with different lifestyles that we have going on, but really try to carve out a little time for yourself when you can so you can refresh and you can feel good about all these wins and you're not always tired and beleaguered. It's like, what good is all of this wonderful accomplishment if you can't enjoy it and you can't enjoy yourself? All right. We're down to the last 10 seconds, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I very much appreciate you being here. I hope that this has helped you in some kind of way, giving you a little nugget of encouragement, giving you some accountability that you can take on through the week. All right. Take care. See you next time. Bye.